Hi, welcome back to Chez Moi and the beach at Westgate-on-Sea. Quite a few have been saying that you've missed these videos, and the weather was so lovely today and we've just gone into lockdown, and I thought I'd do you a video, and there's a particular reason for that as well. Just start with a little update. I've spent the first lockdown, I was locked down till pretty much the end of July, and I spent a lot of time on my book but not actually writing it, because I've discovered a lot of books that I wanted to read, and so I've actually got a pile of 25 books there that are my references. The research is finished, I have started writing, and hopefully in this new lockdown I've got a bit more time to really focus on it. But there's one item that I was writing about, and then I had an email, sorry, not an email, I put a YouTube video out about a week ago, and Bob Mansfield replied to it, or put on a review. And Bob, who is one of the reasons for doing this video today, because this is the 7th of November, and Bob is 79 today, so happy birthday, Bob, well done. He's from, he lives on the London-Essex borders in Waltham Forest. So, and this echoes the part of the book that I'm writing at the moment. So, what I'd like to just start off by saying, that he put on review, and then I asked him to email me, and we've exchanged a couple of emails. And one of the things he says is that he spends 2 hours a week at the golf range where I first started to practice my golf, and had just one lesson with the owner of the range. The lesson was just to swing and turn to the right and swing back along the same line to the left, creating a circle and sweeping the ball away to the target. This one lesson got me down to 12 handicap. Fantastic, so simple. No special moves, just swing the arms in unison with the body back and through. Also, unknowingly, I raised my lead foot on the backswing and replaced it on the downswing. This is probably why I understood the easiest swing so quickly and adopted it. So, the review that he put on brings up a topic that I want to talk to you about, and I am writing about in my book, because I think it's an important one. This is what Bob's review said. Great to see you back on YouTube, Brian. I personally have been so bored that I decided to spend a week each on 5 different swings from YouTube. I got myself into weeks of both elation and weeks of despair, mainly on the range, and I finally settled back to the easiest swing golf, which beats all the other swings off the park. Thank you, Bob. Somebody else had put a review on before that, called John, and Bob says, as John said a week ago, great swing, so natural, proof is in the pudding. Hope to see more from you soon, Brian, but in the meantime, keep safe and keep well. So, in an email, he explained to me that this experiment was simply caused by boredom and not playing due to the COVID-19 epidemic. There really was no intention of leaving the easiest swing, but simply trying out the other swings just for the sake of it. I was so surprised that the instruction for these other swings found on YouTube was not explained in the simple to understand language that you, Julian and Shen used for the easiest swing, especially for senior golfers. I'm also pleased to report that I did incur a few aches and pains from all the other swings, but never from yours. To be honest, I found some difficult due to the fact that they placed a considerable amount of pain on my forward leg, especially those where the whole swing relied on weight placement on the forward leg throughout the whole swing. Your swing suits me because of the simple weight transference in rhythm, which I find to my liking. The dance to golf is a great exercise which I do on a regular basis, so I'd not really have any excuse for not performing the swing with ease. I've only you, Julian and Shen, to thank for the many videos you've all supplied, which I've copied to an acceptable standard. Thank you. Best wishes from a satisfied old man. Well, I'm sure everybody will join me in wishing you a great birthday, and thanks very much for this. So, I am writing in the book because a number of people in the last year or two have said the same thing. They've actually, for some reason, drifted away, started trying other things, and then eventually come back and then wondered why it was they ever left the easier swing. So I'll write more in detail, but what I want to tell you is this, and I'm just thinking about a French expression. Having lived in France for 14 years, this is a statement that they make a lot, which is, in French, it's se remettre en question. In English, that means to question. We must constantly question ourselves. If we want to get to be any good at anything, we have to keep reviewing everything we're doing, and we're always looking for something more. But unfortunately, I think this leads to doubt and incites us to try lots of different ways to get better in a never-ending circle of possible disaster. So for me, the equation would be simple. Consistent input equals consistent output. High levels of constant change equals high levels of inconsistency. We're forever changing, and yet all we want to do in golf is be consistent. And let me go a little bit further at the moment without telling you too much about what's going to be in my book. But easier swing coaches find the main inhibiting factors in your game. Getting rid of them over time is what it's all about, helping you back to your authentic, your true golf swing, like your fingerprint. And staying with these until they become more natural, avoiding confusion, created by giving too much advice. Listen to the golf pros, maybe before you decide who to have a lesson with, and choose the one who doesn't say too much. We keep technical changes to an absolute minimum. We reduce technique, we don't add to it. And all of this, as Bob says, delivered in simple everyday language. Now, just a couple of things while I'm on, and I will finish, because I have got my hole-in-one swing trainer here, and I'll talk about swing trainers in a second. But in the November newsletter, which will be coming out in the next 2 or 3 days, you might remember that in the last one I actually asked for people over 80 to get in touch in a search for the oldest, easiest swinger. And I'm happy to say that Stina is an 87-year-old and 8 months lady golfer from Sweden, and I'm going to do my best. She sent me a video, and I think you ought to see that. And she's indoors and she's using her swing trainer because she's bought a hole-in-one. And just have a look at this swing for somebody that's 87 years old. An aspiration for us all. And we have, I talked about the over 80s, and in the newsletter I'm also going to ask for, we're going to call Stina and the other people who are over 80, we're going to call them the super seniors. 65 to 80 are going to be seniors, and the 50 to 65 year olds are going to be junior seniors. So, and we're going to be asking for more information from all those different sectors, and let's find out a little bit more about who is where and doing what, and how much enjoyment you're all getting from the easier swing. So I'm just going to do 1 or 2 swings now. I've got to be a bit careful because the decking has been a bit damp overnight. No rain, luckily. So I've got a little mat here because I don't want to fall over and break my leg. Not to go on YouTube anyway. So we've gone into lockdown again. There's a lot of countries around the world in lockdown. In Northern Hemisphere countries, we're moving towards winter. This is the time to be using these. I know a lot of you got one. Please use it as much as you can. And again, I'll say this again, on an easy setting. Please don't think that this is a question of a challenge and see how high on the settings I can get it. Get an easy setting, and it's the repetition. It's using it and using it. So let's see how my golf swing is today. Ah yes, I heard a little voice in my mind. You're all shouting, where's your dance to golf? Remember that, here's my dance to golf. Nice and easy, simplest thing in the world. Okay. Got a little problem with my left foot this morning, so I'm a little bit tentative about going all the way through. keeping to that rhythm which we've spoken about. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then hold it for 5 if you can. Holding that finish is so important. So if you haven't got one, now's a great time to get one. Got loads in stock, so please think about it. If you've got one, get out there and use it as much as you can. It'll keep you fit through the winter as well, and you'll come out next spring more confidence and your golf swing fitter and stronger than ever. Okay, so nice to see you all again, and I'm not saying I'm going to be doing a lot more of these videos. It's difficult to get out in the winter, not always as nice and as warm as it is today, and I really want to use these next 4 weeks, or however long this lockdown lasts, to get as much written as possible. So thanks once again for your support. Thank you very much for watching. See you all again soon.